Let's be real, New Super Mario Bros. Wii is not the hardest game in this series. In fact, apart from a couple of levels that will be really tedious, most levels can be beaten without losing that many lives. But what if we try to make our life harder? What if we try to beat the entire game as Mini Mario? Yeah, the Mini Mushroom is a power-up that makes Mario super tiny, allowing him to enter smaller pipes. Usually you get a mushroom, you enter the pipe, you collect the coin, and then you go back to a normal, more traditional power-up. But what if we actually did not do that? The rules are simple. We are going to try to be playing the entire New Super Mario Bros. Wii game playing as Mini Mario only. This means that we will not be able to collect any other power-up, like mushrooms, fire flowers, propeller suits, and so on. Being Mini Mario also changes the gravity a little bit for you and makes you floatier. Mini Mario is not as heavy as Mario, so if you try to jump on an enemy, you'll just bounce on top of his head. You'll actually have to do ground pounds if you want to inflict damage to enemies. Now that everything has been set, let's see if we can beat New Super Mario Bros. Wii as Mini Mario. 1-1 is a pretty easy level to start off this quest with. Basically, there's not a lot of enemies or anything that stands between you and the flagpole, so no worries. 1-2 does contain a couple more enemies, and it does include annoying plants coming out of the pipes, but you can easily avoid them. Watch out for the Hammer Bros in 1-3, as these guys can literally one-hit kill you. Wait for the perfect timing and make your way across to reach the end of the level. 1-Tower doesn't feature too many enemies on your way. In fact, I think that this tower is actually made easier by being Mini Mario, as you're very floaty and have plenty of time to land on those spinning pendulums. And here I was thinking Mini Mario was going to make this quest more difficult. To defeat Larry, you'll need to make some ground pound attacks, as simply jumping on his head will not do the trick. The timing is a little bit more tricky that way, but not that much. 1-4 gives us our first taste of underwater levels as Mini Mario, and let me tell you that it's actually way more fun that way. First off, you're so tiny that avoiding Cheep Cheeps is way easier. And second, some parts of the levels allow you to go above the water, and as Mini Mario, you can actually walk on water. Oh, that's so cool! This allows you to speedrun an underwater stage. Epic! 1-5 features those spinning square platforms, and walking on them as Mini Mario is quite weird. I had this really weird death here where I just couldn't wall jump on the square no matter what. My tip here is to avoid those square platforms at all time if you can. 1-6 features those spinning wheel platforms, and the physics on those just work right. Yes, circles are better than squares, I knew it! 1-Castle has lots of spinning gears, and as Mini Mario, there's more than enough space to fit in between those, so once again, it actually makes the level easier. The boss is pretty much the exact same thing as 1-Tower, so you'll beat it in no time. 2-1 starts off with the sand geysers, and let me tell you that those things send you flying into outer space as Mini Mario. Woo! That's so cool! Keep using those geysers to fly super high, and this level will be a piece of cake. 2-2 features two dangerous parts. There's this first one here with the red Koopas on the moving elevator platforms. You'd want to be super careful while bouncing on them. And then there's also this second part with those annoying spike dudes. Since you're floaty, the timing to dodge them and their attacks is a little bit trickier. 2-3 is a very difficult level as Mini Mario. It takes place in the dark, and the light around Mini Mario is so tiny that you can barely see anything that's in front of you. You'll actually have to rely on the many fire-spitting piranha plants and other fire hazards to guide you to the end. 2-Tower is a very easy level, and climbing up the tower is once again made easier by the low gravity of Mini Mario. Use ground pounds on the boss and you'll be good. 2-4 features those annoying gusts of wind. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to affect Mini Mario more than it does normal-sized Mario, so you'll clear this one in no time. 2-5 does feature a lot of pokies, and there's this one part where you'll want to go in the sinking sand below all of them, as you don't really have any weapons like fire flowers to defeat them, sadly. 2-6 features more of those spinning square platforms, but this time they're on rails. Yay! Keep jumping to minimize the amount of time you spend on them and avoid some, gravity problems, and you'll be all good. 2-Castle is one of those dumb levels where there's like 3 paths you can go into and there's only one that leads you to the next area, while the other 2 just repeats the previous segment. I hate those levels, they are so boring. The boss is quite easy though if you stop him before he gets back into his pipe, so get those ground pounds jumps ready. 3-1 contains a lot of penguins sliding around everywhere, but thankfully the low gravity really helps dodging them all. The second part does contain a lot of slopes too, so you'll have to be careful with that. 3-2 does contain a couple of bullet bills here and there, but to be fair, they don't make the stage any harder. 3-3 is a cave with lots of falling icicles. While being really spooky, if you're being real careful, you'll be able to dodge them without any problems. Also, if you mess up, you can do an epic gamer wall jump to save yourself like I did there. That was sick. 3-Ghost House features those poles Mario can climb on, and is it me or is he climbing them really fast as Mini Mario? I think it looks pretty funny. 3-Tower usually wants you to climb aboard this elevator and slowly make your way up the level, but with our epic low gravity ability, we can wall jump and outrun that slow elevator. Sonic would be proud.
You're too slow!
3-4 is a very easy level, and there's not really anything to talk about. 3-5 has one of those square things again. Ugh. Funny enough, you can grab one of those propeller blocks and now gravity is back to normal. Interesting. You can even defeat enemies by jumping on them without having to do a ground pound while you hold that block, so that's kinda cool. 3-Castle is a snake block party, and not any kind of snake blocks. Ice snake blocks. Hey, like an idiot, I tried to outrun the snake block at the end and got myself into quite a bit of trouble there. But did you know that you can actually do one-sided wall jumps as Mini Mario? No? Well, me neither, but I learned it the hard way. It works. 4-1 is a level that features quite a lot of water, but remember, we can run on water as Mini Mario, so you'll clear this stage super quickly. 4-2 is a fun level where you'll need to dodge lots of cheeps, so be careful with that. 4-3 is one of those peaceful beach themed levels. There's a couple of enemies here and there, but nothing that will stop you on this quest. 4-Tower is up, and you'll want to be really careful in there. There are lots of big metallic boxes ready to crush you at any moment. You'll have to time your jump correctly, but you'll soon reach Wendy Koopa, and the fight against her is very easy. Just like every previous boss fights in this game. 4-4 is one of those underwater stages with a million different enemies that want you dead. I especially dislike the bloopers that come out of those pipes. They are so fast and so annoying. 4-Ghost House is not made any harder being Mini Mario. It is still pretty annoying to navigate, and I guess you should be careful on those columns that start flying to kill you, as they are pretty cheap, but that's about it really. 4-5 is a very easy level, but you'll have to watch out for Lakitu, as those spinies are a one-hit kill. Just be careful and time your jumps and you'll reach the end easily. 4-Castle is up, and it features a lot of skewers that move really fast to destroy you. You'll want to watch out while jumping, and you'll definitely not want to do what I did right there. That was pretty YOLO. I'm glad I didn't die. Ground pound Wendy, and let's move on to World 4-Airship. And you'll have to navigate in between all of those fire torches, and this is easier said than done, especially this part where there are cannons shooting bombs. To defeat Bowser Jr., you'll normally want to use the propeller block to fly up high, but we don't actually need it as Mini Mario, as we can just wall jump our way to his head, easy peasy. 5-1 is next, and does contain those annoying plants that are blowing spiky balls above them, forcing you to jump in between all of that stuff, but the low gravity actually helps a lot. 5-2 contains a lot of giant wigglers in very narrow pathways, and normally you'd probably want to hide in those crevices over there, but as Mini Mario, there's plenty of space for you to fit in there, so no need to worry. 5-3 is home of these annoying spider enemies that I really dislike. What's their name though? I keep calling them spider enemies, but I'm sure they have a proper name. Bramball? Okay, well I hate Bramballs. 5-Tower is the first tower where being Mini Mario actually makes it a little bit harder, as you can't do wall jumps to save yourself this time because of, well, the spikes on the walls on the sides obviously. The low gravity also makes the timing a little bit harder for this final part, and you'll have to jump without making a single mistake. Ground pound the boss 3 times and there you go. 5-4 is probably the hardest level in this entire run. Normally, you just enjoy a ride on this platform and kick the Koopa Troopas out of it when they hop aboard. But now that you have to do ground pounds just to defeat one single enemy, it is insanely difficult. There are so many enemies falling on the raft with you, even plants falling down from the sky for absolutely no reason. That's so unfair. I died a lot of times trying to beat this stage. I almost even threw my Wiimote at the TV, but eventually I made it. 5-Ghost House is another one of those levels taking place in the dark, but you can bring around a light block with you this time around, so it helps a little bit. 5-5 is an auto-scrolling stage happening in the sky, and you'll have to jump on those manta rays until you reach the end, but to be fair, the low gravity that comes with Mini Mario actually helps out a lot. 5-Castle features those fences that you have to climb on, and it's a pretty easy castle, with nothing much to say about it. The boss is quite difficult to beat though, since you can't go down using the donut platforms as you're not heavy enough, so you'll have to defeat Iggy when he's on either side of the arena. 6-1 is a level that has so many bullet bills everywhere, and these guys can one-hit game end you, so you'll have to be very careful and you'll need to avoid them all. 6-2 takes place underground, and it's not a very difficult stage. There's a couple of spinies falling down from the ceiling, so you'll have to watch out for that, but that's all there is to it. Usually, to beat 6-3, you'd have to hit switches to control the water level, but the low gravity of Mini Mario actually allows us to just wall jump our way to the end of the stage super easily. You'll still need to hit the final switch though, but that's literally the only one you need to hit. 6-4 is kind of easy, and really there's nothing special to say about it. 6-Tower features a ginormous skewer in the center of the stage that keeps moving up and down the tower. And since you basically moon jump when being Mini Mario, getting to a safe spot is actually way harder than it looks. You'll have to do short hops and basically get a perfect run if you want to be safe. And those tiny little holes on the walls there that looks perfect to hide? Well, they are actually invisible walls that do not allow Mario to hide in them, so don't count on those. Morton is pretty easy, so do not worry about it. 6-5 is home of this bad boy here, Mr. Parka-Puffer. Considering you can just run on water, this guy won't be much of a problem in here. 6-6 is a level where you enjoy a peaceful boat ride in a dark cave, except it's not that peaceful as it's full of bats and fire bros, so be extra careful. 6-Castle starts off being really easy, but then you'll soon reach the second part where there are spiky boulders falling from the ceiling, and these boulders are pretty annoying and you'll want to dodge them all for sure. After defeating Morton, we'll reach 6-Airship, and it is a very long and boring auto-scroller level. There's really nothing special to that stage, it's just bland. 7-1 features more of those spinning square platforms. Yay, gotta love those. 7-2 has so many chain jumps, and let's be real, Mini Mario really looks like a dog treat, so you'll want to be careful around them. 7-3 contains a lot of fuzzies, so you'll have to find your way around them, but it's not very difficult though. 7-Tower takes place on an elevator, and the first part does contain a lot of bullet bills, but you can actually ground pound on those to go up faster, so that's pretty neat. The second part is pretty similar, except this time it contains bumps, which makes it a little bit harder. I actually preferred the bullet bills. The boss fight against Ludwig is easy, so no worries. 7-Ghost House is actually pretty easy, and that's kind of surprising, as Ghost House levels are usually a pain. 7-4 is an easy level that features pipes moving up and down. It also contains those platforms that you move left and right by tilting the Wiimote, so that's kinda cool. 7-5 has those enemies that spit out clouds, and that makes it harder to navigate your way to the end of the level, but once more, the low gravity of Mini Mario actually makes it easier. 7-6 has those flying beetles, and you'll need to jump from one to another until you reach the end of the stage, but that's kind of easy. 7-Castle features more scary skewers that you need to dodge, and it does feature a couple of parts where low gravity is really annoying, especially this one where you need to fall down before the skewer hurts you. Took me a couple of tries, but it is possible to do it. Yay! Hi Ludwig! Bye Ludwig. 8-1 features those lava boulders falling from the sky, so you'll have to avoid them all, which is kinda difficult at times, especially with those lava geysers in the way. 8-2 is a very easy level, and being Mini Mario doesn't make it any different. 8-3 is another easy stage, as the moon jumps from Mini Mario actually helps out a lot to dodge those lava waves. 8-Tower is pretty easy, and once again, you can use those wall jumps to go up the tower quite fast. Just make sure you don't get squished by the moving blocks, and you'll soon reach Kamek. And defeating him is quite easy. It's literally the same fight as before, but you need to do ground pounds instead of just jumping, so yeah. 8-4 is an underwater stage in the lava world. That's pretty weird. The stage takes place in the dark, so you'll have to be careful to dodge everything that stands between you and that flagpole. 8-5 is one of those annoying auto-scrolling levels where you'd want to move super fast, but you can't because you gotta wait for the screen to catch up. Come on screen, we don't have all day. 8-6 has lava rising, and it is supposed to make you scared and force you to go super fast, but Mini Mario's moon jumping ability actually makes it super easy. 8-7 asks you to ride this very fast skull roller coaster. It is a pretty intense level, and the low grav actually makes it way more difficult, but so much more fun. 8-airship is up, and it's kind of an easy level where you need to dodge the cannonballs. Bowser Jr. is also a pretty easy boss fight, as the way to fight him doesn't really change as you being Mini Mario. Welcome to the final level, 8-Bowser, and it's really not that difficult. There ain't a lot that can go wrong if you just take your time dodging fire bars, lava bubbles, and all other hazards. Use your epic jumping skills to defeat the first Bowser in a matter of seconds, literally, and you'll get to fight Bowser 2, which is more of a platforming level than it is a fight. The main difficulty here comes from everything killing you in one hit, but if you're being super careful, you'll be okay, and there we go. We have flushed Bowser down the drain, and we have saved the princess. And all of this while being super tiny. Gotta admit, this looks pretty funny, with Peach being super tall and Mario being super tiny. Anyways, is it possible to beat New Super Mario Bros. Wii while being Mini Mario? Yes, it is. The fact that you have low gravity actually helps most of the time, and obviously, the main difficulty comes from you not being able to use Power Up or being defeated by anything that touches you in one hit, but it's actually not that difficult. Thanks a lot for watching this video, my dudes. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe and to hit the bell to be notified of when I post next, and hit the like button to show me you enjoyed this video. If you want to join Team BBQ, the coolest team in the world, click the join button down below, or click the link in the description. Tap the cards on screen if you want to watch more challenge videos, and you know what, I'll see you in the next one. Keep being epic!